are going live and we are live. Yes. Good morning, everyone. And you know what I'm going to just say? I'm going to just say I'm waiting for my Facebook to load and I am just going to switch off the speaker that will just start speaking the minute it loads there. And we are live on, yeah. See? That's like my beginning. Like I'll be known for it. I don't know when will I become professional enough to not have that. Good morning, everyone, and good evening, wherever we are joining in from. Our first like is up. I think we should have a great chat of celebration. I have yet another, each one of my guests are very special, but yet another very special cheerleader today here who's been, through seeing this from the time then when this was not even there. Like she is seeing this grow from the time that it was hardly anything. So we have Brittany Alicia, who's also my coach, and she is here to be our cheerleader, and she's going to be cheerleading this whole project. She's already been doing it in the background. I'm just getting her in forefront to say that you're, and Katrina is here to support us.
Hi, Katrina.
Yeah, the gang is coming up to support this thing. So welcome, Brittany. It's a pleasure to have you here. And I know that especially in the last 2 3 weeks 4 weeks since I am like, you know uh, every time I come up to you and we're talking, we're just brainstorming so much stuff behind the scenes, and your support is absolutely appreciated because you go all in trying to support it. So that's why you being a cheerleader here was very, very important. She's one of my cheerleaders. There are four more coming up, and thank you so much for all your support, Brittany. Just introduce yourself, because I always say that biodatas are boring. It's always good that the person who lives the story tells the story much better than the person who has to read the story. So go ahead, Brittany, introduce yourself.
You didn't warn me that I had to introduce myself. I thought you were going to give me some fancy introduction. So I'm Brittany Alicia. I'm the creator of and founder of the Independent Boss Babe and Make Life Your Bitch brands. So with Shika, well, for myself, I'm a coach. I help women grow their coaching businesses online, women who are already coaches. And that's how Shika and I met. We met last year. And when her and I met, she said to me, Brittany, I'm a photographer and I'm tapping into this whole online world. I don't know how to do it or what to do. And we started out with one project of, for me, with any of my clients, as I teach all of you guys, it's you have to fall in love with your client's project, right? It's our jobs as coaches or, as coaches, as creators, to bring your vision birth when nobody else believes in it, or when nobody else sees it, they don't get it. Like, I believe that's my job as a coach, right? To bring your vision birth. And to love your business, right? And when you and I met and we were talking, I said, I love your vision and what you want to create so much. And it wasn't even with moms yet. And I said, I just love this so much. I need to be a part of it. Right. So I signed Shika as my client. She signed me as her coach. And we started off, talking about growing your business through iPhone photography. And the reason we talked about iPhone photography was because Shika just had this big, huge passion to help women see themselves, right? To have these self-portraits and I kept saying to her, can you teach people how to take selfies? She's like, selfies, she doesn't like selfies. And I'm like, but as women, as entrepreneurs, we need better pictures, right? You see so much, and Shika's on me all the time. Brittany, your pictures suck. And in the beginning, she's like, your angles, Brittany. And, she coached me through some of it too. And has been working with me through some of, my stuff when it comes to my, my pictures. But that was one of the things that you and I talked about was regarding the iPhone stuff. And you just wanted women to feel like they were enough. Right. And so I know I'm not introducing myself, but I'm introducing us and I know. Our story.
That's beautiful.
And so you just wanted people, women, to feel like they were enough, to feel like they were beautiful as entrepreneurs to be able to show up online as their true authentic selves. And that's what I speak to when I talk to finding your dream client online. Your dream client will fall in love with you too. Like, don't go online being like everybody else out there. Don't be like, I want to be like this person and this person because they're successful, so I need to be like that. It's like, show up as you. And as you've stepped into that power, and and you decided, Brittany, I think I'm going to pursue this project of like self-portraits. And I'm like, okay. And it just like, it was just like that one little seed, and you just like kept like nurturing it and growing it, and all of a sudden it's turned into this beautiful
yeah. It took
yeah
6 months to come out from there.
Yeah. And it was just like, as I always say to you guys too, right? Like, because we have 16 stairs from our main floor to the top. And I always say, like, all our dreams are achievable and attainable as long as we take one step forward. But so many people try to jump to stair 16, right? And then they fall flat on their face and wonder why. And with you, like, so many people think that they can just like become millionaires overnight, which, I mean, yeah, it doesn't need to take 100 years to do it. But either way, you still need to do it one step at a time, right? And sometimes you'll be able to like do a couple steps really, really quickly. But for you, it was with this project, it was like one step at a time. It's just like, okay, what's next? Okay, what do I do next? And so you've like created this beautiful project and this beautiful thing for so many women to empower them. And I just love it.
And thanks, Brittany. And that was beautiful because you've already told the story, but I'll also, it was all iPhone photography. It was all about me teaching iPhone. That's what I was teaching when I came to this online world. And from there, I went into these challenges that we've worked together as well, where I did this visual break challenge, trying to bring meditation kind of a thing to the visual world. Even that was like not satisfying me. I was just like walking like a slow snail. I'm like, I don't think so. This online world is for me. I don't know why I'm in this online world. And I kept on moving and I kept on moving, slowly. And I did, thank you for actually not saying, I just don't want to work with her because she's just too slow. But I kept on working, and I want people to know that from being an iPhone photographer to teaching, challenges and getting the meditative space, which worked very well for challenges, I was still not feeling very fulfilled about why I'm here in this online world. I kept on thinking, and Brittany did tell me, oh, you can, you're so passionate about women, you can teach them. And then I started developing this course about self-portrait coaching, and I can teach women. And then I actually started doing the market research, and boom, like I kept on speaking to women after women after women who were like talking like me, who were talking like all the mothers I'd met. And we were just resonating, and the 10 minutes connect call was going on to 2 hours connect call, and we were just still chatting up, sometimes crying, sometimes feeling. And my market research kept on leading me to this whole thing. And then of course, when I started this movement initially, I was just like, I need to do something with it. I will, and in the middle, of course, I've had 1 or 2 sessions of hypnosis, mindset sessions here and there. With Kara, I have had a mindset session. I have a hypnosis session with Yamile. These are all moms in here. And as if everyone was just sitting in this whole journey, just like push me and just say, come on, go for it, go for it. And they brought so much, so I must honestly say, in the last 6 months when I was sitting, I was actually not sitting because I thought I was sitting, but I was looking for something was speaking inside of me which I couldn't tap into. But I was looking for some like things that could keep pushing me forward. And you've been there throughout, sitting and saying, yeah, like maybe next month she will have a breakthrough, or maybe next month she'll have a breakthrough. And you've been just sitting like patiently there doing that. And we have Vilma, we have everybody here, Petrina, Francis, Aarti, Jenny's here as well. Jenny's from Kara's coaching session, so she's also seen me like totally lost, sitting there and saying, I have no idea what's happening. So from that, this chain that has formed, Brittany, and you've been witnessing it. So you started there, and I've ended up in a movement. And that too, when we started, I came to you and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then the next week I came and told you, this is just going crazy. Like, it's just going, like, it's and then you've been sitting there saying, well, this is amazing, it's going amazing, and you've been just sitting there and supporting me. So thanks for that. And that's why I definitely had to get you as my cheerleader here, as the first cheerleader, because silently you've been sitting there and doing the cheerleading, giving me all the support I need. You know my technical ability very well, that how organized and technical I am as a human being. But I managed to come a long way in Zoom, from not knowing how to end a live stream to at least coming to do these 25 women that we've had interviewed, cheerleaders. Yesterday had a great talk with Renu and Remile, which also went absolutely amazing. And tomorrow I have five more coming up. So Brittany, you work with moms, right? You work with so many moms. You always said that my niche is not moms, and then you always said I end up working with moms. I don't know what it is that I always say that my niche is not mom, but I end up working with moms. And you are surrounded by moms, and I see you very patient as well, because our kids keep coming in the middle of. I don't go live so much with your calls, but I do see the replays, and all the mothers are still talking to you, and the kids are coming in and everything. So I know that you do have this whole idea around what moms are going through to make their lives, shine and to show up in this world. So let's just talk about, like, what do you think is happening? Like, there's so many mothers who are actually trying to shine and they're struggling. As a coach, where do you understand that this project has this importance, that it must be celebrated, these women must come out and start showing up?
Well, so I mean, for myself, I became an Insta mom at 22 to a 4 and a 5-year-old, a 5 and a 6-year-old, for 5 years. I was a stepmom. So for me, there was like, part of it was I becoming an instant mom, right? I mean, I all of a sudden had to learn how to be a parent, but also I didn't get to like have a baby, grow with them, screw up along the way and make mistakes. It's like I had a 4 and a 5-year-old who were judging me and knew when I was screwing up, right? As I was learning. And so, when I see you guys going through some of like these patterns of like frustrations with your kids and stuff, I've been through it. And sometimes, even for my sister, she's come to me for some of this stuff. And she's like, I know you're not a mom anymore, but she's like, I know you get it. I said, for the young ones, I said, for me, like, sometimes I'm like, I don't get it. I said, 4 or 5 and like into being like 12 years old, I'm golden. I can help you with anything. Right. I mean, like, I still have, being able to work with moms. And from my experience, I had one of the girls, I gave her all my meal plans from when I was a mom, right? I gave one of the girls all my meal plans, because that was one of the things that she was struggling with, was time. And so as entrepreneurs, I think that's one of the things that we do struggle with, is time management. Like you talked about, like, I remember when you and I first met, and that, like, I mean, you mentioned it already, was you said like, I'm so disorganized, Brittany, like papers and like all this kind of stuff. And I was just, and I would just laugh. You're like, I don't even know where to put the papers, like, and you're like, I don't know where to email you and that kind of thing. And, when we start businesses, we can get so overwhelmed, and then we are being parents and that kind of thing, but we can't give up on our dreams just because, we have children too, because the biggest, like the most amazing thing for kids is when they get to see their parents go after their dreams, they follow in their footsteps. And one of the things that I did with you guys when you enter my program is if you're a VIP, is I buy you guys crowns, right?
I'm waiting for mine because of lockdown. I've not been able to order it.
Yeah. And so for the women, I buy you guys crowns, and, it's to symbolize that you're enough, to remind you, like, to stand tall, stand proud, fix each other's crowns, like, and one of the coolest things about that is that, like, at the end, we do those I am statements, right? Like, for 2 minutes, we stand and we say, like, I'm confident, I'm strong, I am like, we go through. And what's been neat about it is that some of the girls' daughters have taken on those crowns. And, like one of the girls, like she says her daughter comes home from school and she puts the crown on and she's like, okay, mom, I've done this today. And she like wears the crown, and it's like that trickle down effect. And so one of the things that you and I talked about when it came to photography is like, we have this power to empower our children, right, in such a positive way by us going after our dreams and not putting them on the back burner until our kids are, gone off to college, right? If we do it now and show include our kids in the process, they get to see that their dreams are achievable and attainable too, right? We take them on the journey with us. We don't try and like separate the journeys. We go after our dreams, but let them come with us. But it goes both ways when it comes to empowering them. We can also disempower our children when we feel shitty about ourselves, right? Which is something you and I talked about. So one of the things that, I've noticed is my mom is one of those people who hates to get her picture taken, right? I mean, so many of us, we look at our photo albums as kids and we're all like, where's mom? Mom's not in here. And it's like, mom was taking the photo. Like mom was taking the photo because she didn't want to be in the picture, right? And my mom all the time was just like, don't take a picture of me. And it like created this trickle down effect where all of a sudden my sister wouldn't want her picture, like a picture taken of her. And this one day, my niece, she wouldn't want her picture being taken. And we're like, why? Like she's like 3 years old. Why doesn't she want a picture taken of her? And we realized it was this trickle down effect of, and it's like, where does the cycle stop? Where do we just step into our power and be okay with feeling enough to look in the mirror and say, hey, you look beautiful today. It doesn't matter like what you're wearing, if you have bags under your eyes, it's okay. Right? Because beauty comes from the inside first. And when we feel shitty about ourselves, weight wise, some of the girls that I work with, like deal with like weight loss. And for me, I can step on the scale one day feeling super slim and feeling super great. And the next day I can step on there feeling like super bloated and like feeling like crap and thinking like I'm so fat and weigh the exact same, right? And it really, I look the same. It's just mindset.
Absolutely. And I think that same thing happens with the camera as well, Brittany, that you're saying it now. Today, if like the hair is done okay and we've come from the parlor and like everything is great, we look great. Just the next day, suddenly somebody took our picture sitting in a pajama and a child went and take our picture and we absolutely feel shitty. So the same thing applies there with what you're saying, that we keep doing this ping pong between the fact that we look great because of the weighing scale, we look awful because of the weighing scale, we look great because of the photography, and we look bad because of the photography. But this is like what you're talking about, the weight thing as a coach, or what I'm talking about as a photographer, what many coaches here who are going to be part of this book, because this book is about they keep talking the same thing, that this, like, I call this a chatter. And I've started to realize that this chatter is just not in photography. Like, of course it started with, I want to take my pictures, I don't want to do this, I don't look nice. But we are surrounded by chatter all the time in every single thing, because I'm talking so much about the chatter that the word chatter has become so important in my life that now I'm walking and I find myself of this chatter. I don't want to do this, I can't do this, I don't want to do this, I don't think so, this person's going to do the same thing. And it's like never was so conscious, but it's just from the back of the mind, it's come right in forefront. And at the same time, I'm dealing with it in the same way. I'm dealing with this project saying, stop the chatter, go for it. Like, just stop this chatter. Because like, I'm packing the bags and this chatter is going on. I'm cooking in the kitchen, the chatter is going on. I'm driving, the chatter is going on. And the chatter is always going on. I look good, I look bad. This is nice, this is off. Like, we're just like jumping off and on, off and on, off and on. And why are we thinking we don't have any time? Because the whole time is just going in the chatter. And we feel that we are very occupied, and we feel that we are very overwhelmed, and we feel that we don't have time. But honestly, since this project I've started, it's giving me more time, and people just keep asking me, how are you doing this? Like somebody who's not so organized, somebody who's not, and of course, honestly, on the way, I had to solve a lot of, with Kara's program in the mindset also, I solved a lot of my childhood issues, and she pushed me to get out of there as well. You pushed me to make me believe that, you know, absolutely, Shikha. I mean, you go for it. It's okay. I'm patiently waiting. It's all right if you don't know any technical stuff. It's okay. You're fine. And you keep catching me in the conversation. See, now you're just going down, and so I think that support is definitely needed when you're moving forward in things like that. And what I'm just saying is that suddenly I want to let people know that I'm breastfeeding my child still, who wakes up every 1.5 hour, who just refuses to, like, I'm going to wean him off very soon, but I'm getting emotional about it. So I said, okay, weaning is going to go off till my 100 mothers are done, because I can't handle him not like being with me and weaning and these 100 moms. So that's going on. Honestly, being invited beautifully to many, many places at odd times. I'm connecting to mothers at odd times. And all this was not achievable for me. And here there are a lot of us from the same group sitting here. And I must say this, that this was not achievable for me 4 weeks back. I was very overwhelmed. I was totally thinking that I can't do this. Like, it's insane. But right now, can I just tell you my schedule, Brittany, today? I just
Yeah.
finished Renu's thank you session. I have your session. From 4 to 8, I have a session which is talking about how to launch books and what are the technical details, because I'm launching a book, I need to learn that. From 7 onwards, I'm in Jamile's hypnosis session, because I had last time gained so much from her hypnosis. And this particular one is on mother and child nurturer as a wild woman. So I was like, okay, I'm coming for it. And then from 10:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning, I have Maya, who's joined us right now, and she's doing a Cantadora experience, which again is about healing and everything. And then morning, I have my kickoff session for panel discussion, and then I have 3 moms lined up to talk, and then I end up with finding one more mom. And what I'm just trying to say, and in this bit, in the middle of this, my children are totally dependent on me for every single thing, but I'm managing it. And not only managing it, I feel I'm shining with it now, and I
Mhm.
have the time, because suddenly the chatter is gone. And that's the message that I want to definitely give everybody. I'm not trying to say I'm the superwoman. I'm not trying to show that off. I was a hot. Brittany has seen me totally sitting like this in the morning, with my, just waking up and saying like, "Are you coming for the session?" And I would be 5 minutes late. I'm like trying to log in, network issues, etc. But now, because I've removed the chatter, at every point, if my mind starts speaking, I say, I don't have time for you. That's what I've come into. I don't have time for you. I have bigger things to do. Second, with your support, with Kara's support, with Mike, who's another friend who's been supporting me, come on, Shikha, you have to do this. So you guys have been definitely cheering me up to do this, and many mothers. Suddenly, I feel that the life is coming back. The life is just entered back. I don't have time for the chatter, and every, like, from, you will see the interview one, and you will see today's interview, and you will just see that interview. I think that I am only getting better. I'm feeling more fulfilled. I'm only making more impact, and this is only happening because I decided to show up. I decided to say, I will not let my portrait tell me I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not nice enough. And that portrait, I've started putting that horrible pictures that my chatter was saying that you're absolutely insane to put this picture out there. I've put that again and again and again and again, and now my pictures are back. My, I feel my hair texture has got okay, everything, because life is buzzing and chatter is not taking me down. So just to tell people this, that support definitely is needed to all moms, and ask for that support and stay with it for long enough till the time you don't have a breakthrough. And definitely Brittany is with me till a long time ahead as well, to keep doing this support, and just keep asking and taking stuff. So Brittany, like, of course, I've had this, I generally don't speak so much, but because this is a cheerleading thing, and I definitely wanted you to be a person to talk in front, to say that last 4 weeks, that's what's happened. And I'm telling all the moms here, we have all the time. Just delete the chatter bit out, and you will really realize that so much time just goes time to think, should we not, should we, the scale not, picture not, this, I mean, just one picture, it takes 1 second, sometimes takes an hour to even think of deciding, because the chatter is consuming us. So that's about that chatter with Brittany. What like, where do you see this movement going? Like, what like, I'm not going, but what do you think are the key points that you see are growing? Because of course I'm in it, many mothers are in it. When you're seeing this movement growing from the other side, where do you think it's going to go? Let's manifest it, one, but two, also let's see, just like patiently we were sitting like 6 7 months back to this snail who was like sitting and saying, I don't think so what I need to do, I have no idea where I'm doing. How does it feel to see life entering, life moving forward for somebody that you've been, believing in, working with? And then where do you think this can go, and how will it help others?
Awesome. Well, I do just want to touch on one thing that you said before I go into that. The way you were showing up for yourself, right? I think so many of us can get caught up in that I don't have time feeling. I don't have time. I don't have time. But what I really noticed for you was, like, as your private coach, what, like, with you struggling sometimes with like showing up, finally, as your coach, I said to you, I said, okay, you and I are meeting once a week. We choose a time. We have a date every single week. And I feel like for you, like that was a shift, right?
Yeah,
Where you got that consistency. And so having that consistency in our lives, especially for like, moms, is like so critical.
Yeah.
So I think like that, I just wanted to touch on that, like being super important, because that was a major shift that I noticed for you. Regarding like, also you talked about, business, like, right? Like in regards to yourself and that kind of thing. One of the really cool things, I mean, as you know, for myself, I always say like, well, how do I say this? Okay. So one of my coaches the other day, she said, stop with the bro marketing, right? Like the guys who all have like their bro, like their marketing of like numbers. And so I've always told you guys, be outside the box, right? Here's the box, be outside of it. And, I say like, I'm a rebel business coach, right? And, I'm helping you guys now with our Make Life Your Bitch membership of like manifestation, right?
Yeah.
All about manifestation. So I love that you brought up manifestation, because I'm just like, yes, exactly. Because we've been talking about that lots in this last 4 weeks too.
Yes.
So for you, like, I mean, okay, so I can say where I think this is going, but I think at the end of the day, the main thing is like, where do you want it to go, right? Because this is your dream, this is your project and all that kind of stuff. If I was to think of like, first off, just like little impact, where do I think this can go? I think that this can go to immediately impacting every woman who's in the book, because she feels like she's enough, because she's like been able to share her story, right? I feel like, it's going to allow those women to take a picture of themselves and step outside her comfort zone. I think it's going to create a trickle down effect to their children, their friends, their families. And like when we talk about impact goals, it's like, what's my impact goal? And all of a sudden it's like, we think like, oh, 10 people. And I'm like, no, like bigger, because we don't realize that trickle down effect, right? And so it's like, that is like just from you helping these women, right? And then it's like, where can that go? It's like, what can those women do now? Because all of a sudden they've been empowered to feel like they're enough. How is their lives going to change? What kind of things are they going to take on in the world? And being able to say like, because I took part in like Shikha Khanna's, book, like this changed my life. So there's that side of like the project of just the impact that you are making. How else? Somebody picking up the book and being like, wow, like I want to be one of these women. I want to be like these women, right? I want to feel like I'm enough. How do I get involved in this? Does Shikha have programs that like I can take pictures and learn how to take pictures so that I feel like I'm enough? One of the thoughts that came into my head while you were sharing was, I remember you saying to me, because we always talk about how content is queen, right? And I remember you saying to me, Brittany, the words, are so powerful, but nobody forgets a picture, right? Nobody forgets a picture. And I remember thinking that and just being like, that is so powerful. Like, because everybody's different, like, right? So when we create any sort of content, we want to make sure that it packages up so pretty. But, the way that you portray photography is just so impactful and changes lives. And I remember you sending me that one picture, and how, is so life altering and so like life changing, right? And then, so those are just like, you know, those two pieces. And then for like where this book can go, like essentially like anywhere, right?
Oh, yes.
I mean, for like, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit, you know, for yourself. There's so many possibilities. Do you decide to do more books? Right?
Oh, yes.
I mean, as right? But I mean, as entrepreneurs, we get to go on our own journeys, right? It's like on our journey to find ourselves, because that's what we're always doing. We're always on a journey to find ourselves. Like we don't just wake up one day and just like found me, right? We're always on this journey. And so sometimes, like I was explaining this to someone the other day, I said, we're on this journey to find ourselves. And sometimes we go this way and we're just like, ooh, I was really mean that day. I don't like that person that I was. And we kind of swing back. And then all of a sudden we kind of let people walk all over us and we're like, ooh, don't like her. And we're like on this journey and like we're on, like we get closer and closer to finding ourselves. But every morning waking up or every time asking ourselves, what would feel really good right now? And with zero expectation of ourselves, of others. And so for you with this book, you know, that's what you did, is you stepped into it and you're just like, what would feel really good right now? What would feel really good? And it's like to empower women. What am I going to do to empower women? Well, I'm going to use my photography, right? And so for you, like you said, how big could this project get? I mean, like you could impact, I mean, you're already impacting women's lives around the world, right? Could it, like, you know, I know like for the impact that it could create for you to be able to speak to women around the world, to walk into, you know, a stadium of women, to help them feel like, you know, they're enough by saying, hey, ladies, pull out your phone. Let's talk, like, let's spend 5 minutes and just show you how easy it is to just take a picture that you love about yourself, right? Like the 5 minute visual break, or to find something to open your eyes. That's something else you talk about, is just like seeing the world, right? We go like for so long without, like, we like walk around as robots day by day and we don't see anything. We don't see anything. And it's like you've taught people how to slow down and appreciate life again, right? And I mean, how powerful is that? You're teaching women how to appreciate and love life again, to stop and like be like, oh, and I had a talk with one of my clients about this. And I said, like, you know, we were at Starbucks and I said, like, look, like, you look at the sign, it was like a Mr. Lube sign. Like it was like some sign for an oil change place. And I said, you could look at it and just think like, that's the sign, right? Or we can dig deeper into like, there's, you know, it's like these colors, it's kind of getting older, but like it has a really nice rustic appearance to it, or like whatever, right? And then all of a sudden you like zoom out a little more into like life and you're just like, oh, look, like the leaves on the trees look really pretty, like with that sign. And like for you, it's like you're just teaching people how to live again. Right?
That's very. I'm becoming quite speechless with what you're saying, Brittany, and I know I don't have too much. I don't know. Every single day, and Brittany, what you just said, I just like lose. I was telling Emily also yesterday. I said I freeze sometimes because I'm just like, you know, because that's why I ask you, what do you see on the other side? Because I'm so immersed in it that I just don't sometimes realize what I'm doing. And sometimes I honestly ask myself, am I hallucinating that all this is happening? Is it real? Am I becoming crazy that I think that there are these 100 women who are going to be, am I actually like totally going crazy that this chat is going up, you know, every time, and people are like supporting us? But two things that you just said, and we want to share that picture thing that we had discussed, and I told you that World War II was stopped with that one picture, right? And that one picture that was posted when I was studying photography, I saw that picture, and that picture stopped World War II. The Vietnam War was stopped, and the photographer at that time, like there was a bomb blast behind, and this I think people who are in the chat should definitely see the Vietnam War. Kim Pak running. She was a baby, and she was running, and something is coming to me. I'll go to that as well right now. But she was running, and there's a bomb blast, and there was this photographer journalist there. He took the picture. He caught hold of her because she was naked, running with like getting burns, and he took her to the hospital. and she was like about 50% burnt on her back with that bomb blast. But he immediately went, he sent it to the news, and then that picture went to the UN, and then the UN saw that picture. So I'm sure there was a lot of news being written and talked about, and people were talking, having debates, and there was theses, and there were countries talking and exchanging these big files. But then that one picture went, and then UN said, stop this now, because the kids are getting burnt. I mean, it's getting me goosebumps even today of knowing that picture for 20 years, right? And that's the only thing I'm saying, that the photographer took that effort. And then I'll tell you what just came up to my mind while I'm talking about it. So when I was a photographer, Kimpuk, how I came to know what that picture was, Kimpuk had grown, of course, 20, 30 years ahead after that. And I was 18 years old, and I went to a bookstore. And I don't know why it's coming back to me after a long time after doing this book. I went to a bookstore and I bought this book on friendship, like a picture book, a photo book on friendship. And there were 3 series: friendship, love, and family. So I picked up the book on friendship. I looked at it. I picked up all 3: friendship, love, and family. So it was a competition that she had done across the world, of photography competition with no words in it, but only pictures across the world about friendship, about family, and about love. And there was only one sentence written in that book. And picture by picture, I remember it was a thick book, and now I know why. See, I was telling everybody, everything's coming together, what I've learned, and it's now I'm honestly telling it live as well. And then I used to hold that book and I used to flip that book all the time. It used to be in my car when I was studying photography. I used to keep flipping it, and I always say, I wish I can take pictures like these, because there were this friendship of people in love. They were like couples who were like 80 years old, 90 years old together, only their hands. There was a grandchild and a mom, and there were just these pictures of different kinds of faces all over the world. And see what's coming up today after 20 years, Brittany. And I used to hold those books very close to my heart, and I lost them when I shifted, and I've been looking for those books, and I'm trying to find them online as well. It's not available. I found the friendship one, but I've lost the whole set. But she did that. Like, something got impacted with the picture. She realized what was the importance of that picture that stopped the world war of hers, and then she moved forward to create these competitions, and that impacted some girl in India who's sitting here today after 20 years and impacting more women through a book. Can you see, like, if one photographer decided to show up and do what he was meant to do, because he was judged tremendously, there was a lot of chatter around his work that how can he take a picture when somebody's burning, there's a bomb blast, all he was thinking of was picture? No, he did the work that was needed to do the work, like that work was needed to do. It went to UI, it gone there, Kimpuk did a competition, I saw the book, today I am doing this, I don't know what this book is going to do so to so many women ahead. So look at the connection that happens when you try to show up. So that's one that I want to say. I wanted to talk about it, but I made the connection just right now about the book and everything. And secondly, when you were talking about entrepreneurs trying to take their journeys like that and saying, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that about, but that's the journey where it's already started, right? When you start that journey, you start taking maneuvering. For many moms, the journey never starts, Brittany. It just doesn't start. I keep saying, including my mother. So the journey just doesn't start because they've gone so down that they don't even know whether they want to maneuver and say, I don't like this. Like, that point has not even come. And that's the reason why this book is coming out, to say 100 moms, they can do it. Start your journey. We will see. Like, I'm in that maneuvering thing. I don't like this part about me. I don't like that part about me. This is not okay. I should not do this. I should not move. I should not focus. So that was a beautiful thing said, and I want you to talk about that. So you want to say something?
I was just going to say, and we lose ourselves,
yes.
Right? And we're not showing up as our true authentic self, like, especially as moms, like, you lose yourself because you get, you're spending all your time with your children. Yeah. You forget who you are. You don't even know who you are. You're like, who am I? Right. And I think, one of the coolest things getting to work with, like, all of you women is getting to tap back into your passions. And, with one of my courses, that's what we do, is we step back in there and we're like, okay, what is all your passions? Because someone tells you, like, oh, you can't have, a niche or whatever the hell you want to call it, that encompasses all your passions, which isn't true. Right. you're able to like take all your different passions and bring them together in such a beautiful way so that when you show up, you feel like it's your purpose. Like, you know, this is your purpose. Because if you are an entrepreneur and all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, like, hey, like, why aren't I in love with this? Like, I thought I was going to be happy. Like, I'm making money now, but why am I not happy? And it's because you're not following your purpose. Right. And our purposes change. Like, we forget that. Like, we forget that we're growing, you know, even for myself, where I was a year ago, that's something that I'm tapping back into, is doing a shift in like who I help, like, and what I'm helping people with. Right. And that's where like we brought in that other program that lights me up. Right. I had to tap back into like what lights me up. And it's like that abundance discussions around abundance and manifestation, like we just talked about, right? And you get to take all these pieces, and as you go, you grow. But if you never go, you're not going to grow, like, right? You can stay stuck. And if you don't move at all and you just stay where you are and you're like, one day, you know. And I remember saying, like, hearing people say, and I remember saying to myself, like, you know, it's like, now is not a good time, you know. And I mean, this will be a good one for moms too, is like, if they're like, it's just not a good time right now to start a business, like the kids are doing this and they're doing this, I can pretty much guarantee you that every single one of you out there, it was not a good time for you to have kids. There's probably shit all over. There was probably crazy stuff going on, but it was like, hey, you know, there, like, if we want to have kids, now is the time. Like, there's never a good or perfect time to have children, but we make the decision, hey, I want this bad enough, we're going to make it work, we're going to do it, right? And we figure it out, right? We figure it out when we make that decision, right? And like I say to you guys, greatness is a decision and your birthright, but it starts with a decision. So, you know, when you make that decision for yourself, it's the same thing when it comes to your business. It can be like a little baby, right? And you say to yourself, there's never a good time to start a business, right? There's never a good time to go after your dreams, but you have to start. And even if it's just little steps forward, right? Just little steps each day. You were in the process of moving, right? I mean, I don't know if you've told people that you were in the process of moving cities during COVID. Nonetheless,
I have. I moved cities,
children
2 months back. All this has happened while I'm still sleepless nights, and I moved cities. Absolutely in a new city.
Right. Like, so trying to find yourself and find your business, find you again on your own 2 feet, right? Being this woman stepping back into her power because you lost yourself when you first had kids, right? Because you became just a mom, but you're so much more than that, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? So there was that. And then there was, you know, you packing up the house, like the sleepless nights with the kids, moving, right? Unpacking, right? COVID on top of everything. Like, it was just like all these things, but yet here we are, and you made it work, right? And you're here changing lives, making this difference. And sometimes we forget, like, all of a sudden we like forget, like, holy shit, I've done, like, excuse my language, but like, holy shit, I've done all this in the last like 6 months, right? And people get so scared, well, it's going to take forever to go after my dreams. No, like, you started showing up for yourself, and look at where you are today.
And it's you know what happens, Brittany, as well, when you start showing up, actually things don't go in your control. Then something in the universe takes you and just zips you right there, you know. It just does. And that's the belief that's missing, that when I will start, how much baggage will have to. I am honestly, I don't know who is taking me ahead, where am I getting this. Like, I was trying to get people on, say, come for Cantadora, it's amazing, it feels nice, come for your Millis thing. They're like, so we have a festival tomorrow as well. So I have a lot of guests staying over tonight at my place when I'm talking about this whole thing. And why I'm not again showing, it's not a show off that I'm trying to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know I will do it, because I started to just say yes to everything. And then my sister-in-law called me. She's like, you have an event from 7:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning. Then you have a kickoff of panel discussion. And then we have this festival. Are you sure? And my mom-in-law really wanted this to happen in this house because she's here and she's like, I want everybody to come over. So I was like, fine, let them come over. So I was like, it's okay, you'll just see me with puffy eyes and little, like while I'm dressed, you'll just see me that. But this has to be done and you become unstoppable. So I think things are still the same. For 3 months back, I would have first said, I have a festival next day. Second, I would have said, I have sleepless nights. My son actually wakes up every 1.5 hours. I can't do this. Cantadora event whole night. Three, I just think I've already spent a lot of money on this, on that, on this course. Nothing has really worked for me. Nothing is happening. I would have said that. And now I'm saying, okay, I'm still not stepped into starting making money online or anything. But I'm going for it. Like, I will say yes. Whatever comes my way, I will say yes. If it becomes a 24-hour waking up, it's just 24 hours. I'll go off to sleep after 24 hours of doing this. And so that's the power that I just want to tell everybody this, because you're just mentioning that when you start showing up, you only grow when you show up, right? And I think the minute you start doing that, am I echoing by any chance? I feel an echo. No? Okay. So I just want to encourage more moms who are coming and joining us is that sometimes you just have to take the first 5 steps and then the world, like everything just takes care of itself. It's just the first 5 steps are taken and you've reached at that point. And I'm telling everybody, I feel I'm just taking the moms till here to the corner and I'm not even pushing them. I'm like, jump. And the minute they jump, I can see them all flying. Everything, the wind takes over, the things come, the experience comes, what you see, what happens, everything will fall in place and you will land up somewhere in the end after you've taken that flight. So I think, yeah, so I think we're getting stuck. Either I'm getting stuck or you're getting stuck, and I'm feeling some echo happening.
I don't have any echo on my end, and you're still moving.
Okay, but you're frozen for me. But yeah, okay. So you're frozen for me. But anyway, what I was just trying to say that if you jump, then worrying about where the wind will take me, will I land, all that will happen. So I just think that what you just said about like taking that steps, growing, going ahead, that's where all of you are supporting us to go. And I think we just need to take the jump. And then all time fixes, everything happens, things will happen. Things are still the same, but they're still changed. And that's what Maya said, that have you ever felt that things are just the same and then still everything has changed? So for me, I'm still in a new city. I'm still trying to pick the house up. There's still lockdown. There's still online classes. There's still children. There's still sleepless nights. But everything has changed for me. And that's that comes
because you changed.
Yeah, and that comes from support as well. And that's the support I'm trying to give through this book as well, Brittany. So that's why very honestly, I am always going live, honoring the people who've been on this path with me. Just also to say that hold hands when you need support. Don't shy away from holding hands to say, I'm a mess, I need help, and it's okay if I do, and I will believe that something better will happen with this. And you might have to take different things to hold on to keep moving forward. And I keep saying, once you start the journey, one clue will drop in front of you, pick up that, you read that, then you go to the next clue, then you go to the next clue. And the clues will not end till the time you don't reach. Or maybe, it just keeps happening, a life of all clues. But what an interesting life will it become, that everything is like that clue that's being dropped in front of you. But if you don't start it, no clues will come, nothing will come, no messages will come, nothing will happen. And that's why it's been an unfolding. And thank you, Brittany, for doing this, and also choosing to be a coach and wanting to take so many women. All of them are here. You can see the chat. They all are here supporting us, writing this thing. And thank you on their behalf as well, Brittany, to doing this. And I know that you work very hard in growing yourself so that you can bring more and more and more. So definitely you had to be my cheerleader for this project because of who you are. And I think there is some glitch happening, so we will wrap up. Let's hear from you, because I can see you skipping. If you're okay? But anyway,
I can still see you.
Yeah, now you're fine.
I can hear you totally fine.
Yeah, you're fine. You were frozen for some time.
A while.
Okay. So yeah, no. So go ahead.
And I really love that you said, the talking about the flying thing, because I know for myself, before I started my business. I had gone through a breakup, and that's what happened with me is I started off like my life was shattered into all these pieces, and I decided to pick up the pieces and put it back together the way I wanted it, the way I wanted my life to be. And it was just kind of like one piece at a time. I'm like, okay, like I want this. One of the things that I did was at 27, I learned how to play piano, like playing like Jingle Bells, like the proper way with proper etiquette, because it's something I had always wanted to do. It's something I dreamed of doing.
Right.
And I was driving through the mountains in British Columbia. I'm from Canada. And I had my ex call me and say to me, I had a dream last night that you jumped off a cliff.
Yeah.
And I said, did you ever think that maybe I was learning how to fly? So I love that you said that, because that was really the start of my journey, right? It was right after that I went to my first Tony Robbins event. And it was there that I learned how to love myself for the very first time in my life. I learned about me, and I learned that I was enough. And so I really like that you shared all that, because, it's just by taking that one step forward, and like you said, it's sometimes if you only have two dominoes placed and you hit them down, it's not going to really do anything. But if you just place like one at a time and do one thing at a time, eventually when you click those down, it's like everything's going to fall into place.
Absolutely. And that's what's happening. And I wish that for you. And I wish for that for everybody who's here, all the moms. I just keep declaring this funny, like what's happening to me, I have no idea. I go live, and that's why I do like this. I'm approaching this the way I approach my photography all my life, Brittany. That I never did any Reiki for any place that I was going. I did never like met women, how they looked, what they thought, and their ideas. I always booked a call and I said I'm showing up, because that spontaneity with the fresh eye that I would look at something new would always come, and that's how mom could think that I was seeing them in a new way and not from their eyes. And what I just lost I said that I have just totally lost, but whatever. I don't know why I was saying that for some reason. But the good thing is that the spontaneous thing, the way these spontaneous interviews are going on, if you see them unfold, like such aha moments are coming in the middle of the thing, which I don't think. So I was saying that I started making these very big statements. I don't know what do I think of who I am. I mean, who am I to make this big statement? But I'm like, fine, I'm going to go make big statements. And with Maya's thing, I suddenly said, hey, wait, something is coming to my head. And what comes to my head is, so of course, I'm going to be one of the mums as well, probably the 100th one in the book. And that's what Francis is here saying, that you have to be the 100th mom right there. And then I have to talk about my dream, right? And I'm like, what is my dream? I was just talking to Maya. I'm like, I'm asking everybody what their dream is. I'm talking about them. What is my dream? Then I said at that thing that I've been hearing constantly that every mother is coming up and saying, I want to impact these many lives at 1 crore, sometimes 1 million, sometimes 10 millions. I said, what if I make sure that this book makes these 100 dreams come true? Only these 100 dreams come true by making it so popular that these dreams get manifested in this book, and I've written it that that's their dream, let's make it possible, that's their email address or website, and go and make. And if these 100 dreams come possible, the impact you're talking about, the bigger impact, so many lives through these 100 moms are going to be touched, including their families, including themselves, including the impact they want to make, that I think I'll be like, by the time I finish it, I'll be like, oh, a lot of lives have got just impacted by one, me showing up, by doing this small thing that is becoming very big. And then like so many things are going to happen. So that's what I'm saying, that may these dreams come true of each and every woman who's going to join in. Right now it's mothers. I see this volume, like I'm getting calls now saying, what about single dads? What about us? We are also doing some work. So I'm like, you don't know where the next project is going to go. To dads, it might go to the whole food plant-based people that I have so much love for. I may just have vegan women and across the world. So we'll see where it goes. But the self-portrait movement will go on and on. That I've promised and I've declared. Till I'm alive, the self-portrait movement is going to go on in whatever shape and size to make these dreams come true. So Brittany, You're gorgeous, and we really love you. All of us are here. As Patrina is sending so many hearts, like almost 100 hearts at a time. She's part of the book as well. She's in the book. And actually, I must acknowledge her. She's not acknowledged so much. When I went Zoom, on my Zoom calls with this concept for the first time, all scared, Patrina was the first person. She dropped the call and she goes into my group and puts such a gorgeous picture of herself and showing up there. And I'm like, what if one call can do this? What if I just start showing up every day? And then Patrina kept on showing up. So Patrina, thanks for that. That also gave me a lot of faith that it's a good project starting.
And I just want to touch on just one thing in regards to training.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And showing up. Last year, was it last year? Last year I did a challenge. I think it was last year. I did a challenge and Patrina was one of the people who showed up. That was the first time Patrina came into my world. And I did an online challenge. It was free. I was giving away a Tony Robbins ticket to a VIP Tony Robbins ticket to the virtual event. So yes, it was last year. And for her, one of her dreams was always to go to a Tony Robbins event. She didn't know how she was going to do it, but she knew this is something she wanted, right? So she all of a sudden scrolling one day sees this girl who's doing a challenge, who's giving away a free Tony Robbins ticket for someone who shows up, and she shows up, right? And she showed up every single day. She gave it her all, and she did that for herself. And we talk about showing up, that's part of manifesting. You can't just be sit there and be you know what, I really want a big, beautiful car and a big, beautiful house. And I'll just sit here and I'll wait for it to happen. I'm dream. No, it's you still have to take action towards your dreams. Right. And so, someone like herself, she was able to bring that to fruition. So for her to she constantly is someone who shows up, right? All of you women who have even come into my vortex, right? You're all women who show up for yourselves.
She's saying it last year. Yeah. She's saying
last year.
Yeah. So I think I didn't realize it's already 9 o'clock here. It's been 1 hour that we've been talking.
Really?
Yes.
Look at us go.
Yeah. That's when passion comes in. Now you don't come to know time. And I always keep saying, let's make our interviews half an hour so that people can watch it. But yes, let them watch this 1 hour because it's a celebration time. I try to keep my interviews half an hour. Yesterday was 1 day celebration, which went for 1 hour exactly. Right now, suddenly I see it's 1 hour exactly. So we will wrap up and sign out from this conversation, Brittany. Thank you so much. And Francis is sending us a heart as well now.
And I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. Thanks, Brittany. Thank you so much. Jenny is here as well. Brusha is here. And Vilma is here. Jenny, Vilma. I mean, we're going to read these comments once we go off. And a lot of people are going to join later and comment on it. I know it. Thank you for being part of this celebration and being the cheerleader. I officially declare you as my cheerleader for this project. There are 4 more coming up. They'll all be interviewed in the course of time. So take care, Brittany.
Awesome.
Good night.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye. Don't go off. I'm going off live stream. That's it.